Hey friends, it's Megan Elizabeth from ByMeganElizabeth.com and She Makes Club. I am going to show you how I made the Enchanted Forever Rose using 4 different sheets of basil cardstock and 2 different green, 2 different reds. You can kind of pick and choose the greens and reds that work for you. These have a little shimmer to them, so they're extra sparkly and enchanted. I'm going to also be using some shimmer mist spray, a shimmer pen, some distress ink, and some red cherry cobbler ink, my Extreme Tack Glue Arts squares, and some glitter hot glue and a glimmer pen. This is some wire that actually has a vine on it. It was something that I got from the Target dollar spot, but using just a piece of that. And I already have it ready to go in my Cricut Joy, and I have this cut file ready inside She Makes Club. And I'm just going to load everything onto my Joy mat. It's about 2 3/4 inches in size for the actual rose itself. And it's kind of funny, the dome that I found was actually going to the donation pile as part of a sconce set. And I was like, wait a minute, I can turn this upside down and make a forever rose. So I'm just cutting out each layer of the rose. So you need 2 layers for the rose to just create that variation. And then 2 different colors of green. I kind of wrapped it around either florist wire or any wire will do, but I'm happening to use that vine from Target dollar spot because it has wire in it, but then it just gives you this extra bit of green and leaves to the rose as well. So I'm just cutting each piece out. This was part of a Facebook Live that I did for the She Makes Club, She Makes Her Life journey. So I'm just doing a quick voiceover sped up version for you so that you can see exactly how I made it and how it rolled up and cut out and all of the fun pieces and the fun steps. So I definitely cut out way more of the green petals or the green leaves than I needed. For sure. And I ended up doing it in 2 different sizes because I wrapped the entire paper, the shimmer paper, around. You can see it's a lot bigger because I wrapped it around the stem, which we'll get to in a minute. But the Joy cuts it out so easy. Now we just need to kind of warm up the paper so that it rolls really well. It has the color variations. We're going to ink. I'm going to use cherry cobbler from Stampin' Up, but really any red will do. I'm also using the shimmer spray, which I kind of broke. So we're going to use the shimmer. We're going to use some water and then use the shimmer pen. But I get the water on there first because it helps the ink move a little bit more fluidly for the highs and lows that I want to create for a more natural looking rose. And the water kind of warms up the paper so that it really bends without getting any crinkles or folds in it. It just looks a lot more distressed and like opened up like a real flower would. So I'm layering these 2 colors of the red together, getting nice shimmer on the whole thing, both sides. Again, just the extra moisture of the shimmer and the brush pen really helps to warm up the paper for a nice bend, and it'll dry, a lot harder, which is fine. Before I start rolling it, I curl out the outside edges all the way around. So again, it just creates that bendy rose petal look, and then I just start rolling from the end. And the first one I did, I probably rolled it 4 or 5 times before I was happy with it. This one I happened to roll the first time and really liked it right off the bat. But then what I do is I love using the Glue Arts Extreme Tack. Pressing it right on there doesn't always work, so you have to, because it's wet. I messed it up. So I just grabbed a pair of scissors or a pair of tweezers to place the adhesive on to the paper so it's not sticking on me and it'll actually hold with the wet. But then you're also going to need some strong either hot glue, and I love this glittery hot glue because it just creates another element of enchantment to the rose. And then I just stick the hot glue right in. The only thing with the hot glue is that you do get the hot glue strings, so you want to just watch for that, peel them away. I kind of cut them off at the end, and you'll see. And then I just keep going over it to add more depth and dimension with different color inks and the shimmer pen as well. But it really rolled great the first time, so I really liked how that looked. And then I just made sure it was really secure with the hot glue as well, and then let that dry. So now I'm going to ink my stem and my petals. I'm using pine needles, and I'm also using walnut stain. And I'm going to wrap the paper around this wire and the extra petals. So like some of the petals will still, I keep calling them petals, but the leaves will still stick out, but it's not like, it looks a lot more solid to have the paper kind of go around it, and not, these leaves are kind of plasticky. I like the paper look better. They just tend to look a little bit more natural, but I still let some of that plastic kind of poke through, like you would see different sizes and leaves on a rose. So I'm just bending it and folding it, and then I'm going to walnut stain this wood slice. These were actually coasters from our wedding reception in October, and I just covered it with that wood stain to make it darker. And then hot glued the wire to the base, let that really set and dry, bent it as I needed it, and glued that that leaf on the top, and then just got a lot of glue and some extra leaves placed on the rose itself. Sorry, I pulled it away from the camera view a little bit, and it was live, and I didn't notice at the time. But it just really was just placing the petals underneath where I wanted them to be and gluing it to the top just with the hot glue. It really set up really, really well on there. You can see it's just very pretty, and you can add additional petals. I got the shimmer pen on the whole thing, and just glued them in one by one. And you can just really play with it and shape it. Don't have to be upset if it doesn't take the very first time, but the end results turn out great. I did not hot glue my glass dome to the top of this one. I just set it on, but the other one that I made for Mother's Day, I actually glued it on. So it's pretty nice to make something just out of some extra scraps, and I think it turned out really beautifully. You can see that shimmer almost looks like fresh dew, and I just think it's really fun to have this forever rose. Enjoy the moments, friends. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.